Hello, welcome to Pilates with Nicole. This is it might be a little less than 30 minutes today class based on Pilates, breathing for COVID recovery and folks who just want to move slow and connect with their breath. So today we are going to use some cans more for the feedback that they offer rather than the weight for like your arm strength and stuff. In general, in Pilates, we are always looking to connect our arms to our back, to the strength of our back. And when you start to move your arms from your back, you start to strengthen the connection of your breath and your flexibility of your back to movement. And it's just really good for you. So you're going to start laying down on your back. Remember, you can always have a pillow or like a small towel or something to bring your head up. If when you lie down, I mean, I'm kind of on the, frankly, I should probably have a little something under my head too, because if your chin is reaching up and you feel like this part of your neck is like longer and stretching out more than the back part, you probably want to have something a little under your head to bring your neck into a better alignment. That usually happens because most of us have tight shoulders this way, and then that pulls us into this little extra arch in our neck. So that's the long of it for your pillow, right? Starting with your knees bent, feet flat, you've got your cans just kind of resting right here. And I like cans because we're gonna roll them around and stuff. So if you have little weights, that's also fine, but maybe you'll want to pause and grab cans also. So starting here, let's inhale and lift the cans up to the ceiling. And then exhale, float them down. Inhale, keeping the arms pretty straight and the wrists. Exhale, press them down. While you're doing this, you're keeping your arms straight. Can you keep your shoulders pretty heavy towards the mat? Meaning the shoulder head, the round part, is not going to lift up a whole lot. And it's not going to roll forward. Ideally, it's going to stay pretty heavy towards the mat. You just notice what that does to you, what it does to your connection to your arm muscles, to your back, and to your abdominals. If when you reach your arms up, you feel your back arch a little off the floor, push it down. Try not to. In a moment, we're going to stay lifted. So you're going to lift your arms up. Inhale. And this time on the exhale, you're going to reach your weights back to a high diagonal behind you. And the exhale is to help you keep your abs engaged. Inhale, lift the arms up. So you keep the shoulders down, your back on the mat as you reach those weights back. And you can think of reaching from your back, from these muscles down here. So you reach, the shoulder stays away from your ear, you're not reaching up, and then you return. And that's also kind of a basic or fundamental idea in most Pilates exercises, and probably a good idea whenever you're lifting your arms up over your head. You don't want to reach with those shoulders up high like that. 2 more. Keeping the abs engaged. Last one. And holding the arms up. You can always take a break if you need to. I didn't mention that at the top of class. Bend the elbows a little bit. And you're going to have a sort of round shape with your arms here. Inhale to open the arms. Exhale to hug them back in. Inhale to open. Exhale. Inhale. Can you think of your back helping to push these weights up instead of your chest? Inhale. And your shoulder blades help a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, last one. And exhale. From here, bring your weights down. You need to shake out your hands for a moment. Do so. But then grab your cans again and just gently press your cans into the floor. Like I'm thinking about imprinting my cans into the mat, and that makes me feel my triceps and my lats and kind of like the muscles around the back of my armpit. And then release. Press and release. Or pull, you might think of it like you're pulling your cans into the floor. Can you engage your abdominals at the same time? So I'm pressing, feeling my arms and my back, but my belly is also pulling in as well. We always want that back and those abdominals to engage together. So now you have options. You can lift one leg up, press your cans into the mat, keep them there. Keep this activation as you stretch one leg out and in. For breath, you might inhale and exhale. The goal is to keep basically everything but your leg still. So the hips stay still, hip bone, spine all along here. And then when you've done maybe 8 or 10, or depending how slow or fast you're going, you'll stick your leg up and you'll do the other side. Whew. Make sure that when you're engaging your back, you want to broaden the collarbone, but you're not squishing the shoulder blades too much together, okay? Keep a nice wide upper back. That's sometimes something we have to kind of find in there. When you are done, you're going to place your feet down and you have an option. You can do that again, 8 to 10 on each leg, or you can do the much harder version, both legs at the same time. So you bring your knees together into tabletop, toes touching as well, press into your cans and stretch both legs out, whoa, and in. This is hard. So the higher up you go, the less intense it will be. The lower you go, whoo, that's hard. You want to keep your back and your abs pressing in, supporting you. If you're going super, super slow, I recommend going a little faster. You don't have to torture yourself here. 3 more, keep your breath flowing. 2 more. Last one. And rest those feet down. Okay, so now take your palms and put them right on top of your cans. If you've got weights, you probably have to like balance them a little bit more. But when you do, press your palms into the weights or cans. Try to feel that same tricep and upper back engagement, and then tuck and lift your hips up into a bridge. And then roll down. It may feel a little weird. May need to adjust, tuck and lift. And lower down. Breathe as you move. Can you breathe while you're pressing into your cans, while you're doing this work? 2 more, unless you're going extra slow, maybe you'll only get 1 more in. All right, we have worked those arms and oh my gosh, lats a lot already. So we're going to try the 100, the pumping way. If you're still at a place in your recovery where you don't want to get your heart rate going quickly, you're going to go slow. You're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You can still do the breath control work without pumping, okay? But if you're ready, you want to pump those arms, get your blood flowing a little bit. You're going to reach those arms, press into imaginary cans, okay? Feel those lats engage. Maybe you're going to curl up. Maybe you're going to bring your legs to tabletop. Maybe you'll even stretch your legs out. That's the hardest version. I'm going to stay at tabletop. Start to pump the arms. Inhale and exhale. Find those lats again. Inhale these muscles that we were working before. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Remember, you could be here. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. Hug the knees in, lower your head. If you're curled up, rock your head. Even if you aren't curled up, rock your head. Let the muscles in your neck soften. Then come into center and roll your lower back onto the mat by drawing some circles with your knees. And then reverse those circles for 3, 2, and 1. All right, so come on up to seated. You can rock yourself up. You can help yourself up any way you like. You can't see me now. So you're gonna sit up nice and tall in a comfortable position for you. So maybe that's crisscross applesauce. Maybe it's on your knees. Maybe it's even sitting up in a chair, right? But either way, you're gonna sit up and take your cans. Remember, you can always put your cans down if you need to, and lift your arms up into that hug or round position that we did before laying down. So take a moment, begin to think, is my neck holding up my weights? Are the tops of my shoulders holding up my weights? If they are, drop them, right? And then think about the muscles of your arms, but also your back helping to hold your weights up, okay? So holding here, really tall spine, most important. Open the arms and close. Now, if you are seated like this, crisscross applesauce, can you keep your knees still? So a lot of times we lift the knees a little bit. Those are our hip flexors helping to stabilize us. Use your core, use your back muscles. Ooh, to keep my spine really still. I am feeling it here. I'm feeling it here. See if you can find that. It's working because I'm focusing on keeping my torso totally still while I open my arms. It's hard to do. Keep breathing. Just 2 more. We're not going to do a ton of these. Last one. And then lower your cans down. So we're going to sit into a mermaid position next, because I want to keep expanding basically your breath that's going all the way around. A lot of times we breathe just from our belly or just from our neck and shoulders, when our back can really make a lot more room for breath. So you have 2 options. If you want to do it like the classic Pilates way, you're going to sit like a mermaid with your knees kind of stacked. One hip is a little higher. I'm holding onto my ankle because it's kind of hard to sit up, right? But then I'm also going to engage this part of my waist to lift. So I'm working my waist and my abs. Take your other arm up and you're going to stretch up and over. And then come back up to tall. And I'm gluing this arm to my face to encourage this shoulder mobility. So a lot of times our shoulders are tight. This used to be really hard for me, and I kind of insisted on it now over the last year working out on the mat. And it's a lot easier, and I have a lot more shoulder mobility. One more. Reach up and over. I'm sorry you can't see my whole arm when I'm up, but it is just straight up. All right. I mentioned that there was another option, by the way, and it was to sit like this and do it. It's a little different, it's a little harder to stay stable, but if sitting the other way is impossible, this is the way you can do it. All right, over to the other side, maybe in your classic Pilates mermaid, maybe in your little 90-90 position. So catch your ankle, use your core to hold yourself up, reach the arms up and over. Ooh, and notice. Is one side a little tighter than the other? Up and over. Are you holding your breath? If you notice that you've gotten to a place where you cannot breathe, maybe you've gone a little too far. Maybe you come up a bit. You want to be able to breathe in these positions. And then come on up. All right, so from here, You're coming to your hands and knees. And now we're kind of all over the place today in this class. So we're going to warm up the wrists first. So widen your fingers, make them nice and wide. Make sure your wrists are right under your shoulders. I know sometimes it's hard to tell, so I got to kind of look to my side there. And then your knees are under your hips. Let's start with a little cat-cow. On an exhale, you come around your spine. And then on the inhale, you'll arch, looking up. And exhale, you'll round. And if you find your breath is not matching with mine, as always, please feel free to just breathe how you gotta breathe. Not a big deal. Not worth stopping your breath and trying to keep up with mine. All right, we're gonna find a long neutral spine now. So what that means is the top of your head is reaching for the point straight in front of it over there. Your sit bones, the butt bones you sit on, are reaching straight back behind you like tail lights. Your abdominals are in. I know you can't see, but I'm trying to keep my belly a little lifted, and the natural curves of my back are here. We're gonna do a little serratus push-ups. So what that means is you're gonna draw your shoulder blades together and separate them. And this movement, think about it starting from the bottom of your shoulder blades as opposed to the top. We want to connect into those muscles below the shoulder blades. And this movement might not be very big on you, especially if you've never done it before. It might be like, what is happening, right? But try to keep pushing into the range of motion. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. And then keep pushing them apart, apart, apart. You might find that as you really push them apart, you feel your upper abs engage because they connect energetically. Draw your shoulder blades together and apart. Last one. Don't worry, you get another chance to do this. Sit back though, take some weight off of your wrists. You can walk them forward. Whew. Okay. So your options are as follows. You can do the same exact thing, drawing your shoulder blades together and apart. And another thing to note is I am not doing this with my spine. This is not a cat-cow, although you could move your shoulder blades in cat-cow, right? I'm trying to keep my neutral spine and move from my shoulder blades. The spine will move a little because that, that if something has to move, right? But I'm not doing it from my back. If you want the harder version, you're tucking your toes, you're pulling your abs in a lot, you're lifting your knees up. And this is the serratus push-up. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. It's quite hard, but really good for your upper back and your arms and your shoulders. Whew. Are you still breathing? Last one. And then sit down and take a child's pose. Walk your hands forward, rest your forehead. Whew. Okay, we're gonna come forward and we're gonna again play with this can. You don't need the can to do this, but it's kind of fun. So on your hands and knees, we're gonna stretch out that upper back again. You're gonna take this can, place it behind one wrist, right? This hand is gonna be doing the moving. So I'm gonna put my knuckles, palms up on the can, and I'm gonna roll the can towards you as I lower my shoulder and face to the floor. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching this side of my shoulder here. This hand is gonna help me push up and roll the can back. And you're gonna just roll through this. Maybe I'm gonna do 5 more, so a total of 6. If you want to hang out in that stretch for a while, because it's like, whoa, that feels good. Maybe you just do 2 or 3 and you hang out in the stretch more. I think I've got 3 more. You could totally, again, do this without the weight. I just find the can kind of gets you lower, a little further, a little faster. 1 more for good luck. If you're staying here for a moment in the stretch, maybe you walk this other arm forward. Maybe you walk it over, whoa, to the other side of the mat. So you're actually twisting your upper spine now. quite a bit. This might feel like a lot. Whew. And then bring your hand back right under that shoulder, and you're going to help push yourself up. And then take that hand down and move the can. I'll do it a couple of times this way so you can see what it looks like. And then I might flip around so you can see me. So knuckles, palms up on the can, right behind this standing wrist. Reach the can and roll. So you're stretching this part right here, right behind the shoulder blade. And then you roll it back in, and you're doing up to 6. 2. 3. Oops. You can always readjust if you need to. 4. 5. Guess I never turned around. I got into the flow. 6. And then you can stay. Reach that arm forward. Walk it over if you like. Find that twist. Ooh. And then bring your hand under your shoulder, help yourself up, and take that can out of the way. All right, we're gonna get onto our stomachs for a little bit of back extension work. And this is the one I really love with the cans. So if you've got them, definitely try this one out. You might need to scooch back or forward a bit because you want your cans probably to start on the mat with you so that they're not kind of going up and down. And start with the heels of your hands on the cans, arms long out in front of you. If this is not for you because of your shoulders, you've got some injuries, you can do the same thing with your arms long and just, you can still do this work with your arms by your sides. But if you can have your arms forward and you've got the heels of your hands on the rolly part of your cans, you're going to start your back extension. First, as always, kind of scooping the abs, sending the glutes towards your feet a bit. And the first thing to go is your arms. So if you just notice the arms pull into the shoulder sockets first, all right? The shoulders glide away from the ears. And then you lift your head and your chest and maybe some of those ribs just below up into a swan. And then you roll it away, lowering yourself down. If you've never done this before, try it out small. You want to get those arms to slide in first so that when you're pressing into your cans, you can feel it in your back muscles and not just like in the front of your shoulders, okay? Yeah, I mean, even I, like on the first one, always have a little trouble reconnecting, right? I got to find that connection and come up. Oh yeah. It gets better each time. Because in the end, you know, most of us, we spend more time doing it the other way on our computers or on our cell phones. Our shoulders are rolling forward. It takes a little extra thought to think, arms in, shoulders down the back. Find those back muscles. Remember, you don't have to go too far up if it feels like too much. I'm going to do one more. How little weight can you put into the cans? That's also another thing. If you find this very easy, if you're a person that bends backwards easily, how little weight can you put into the cans and still find those back muscles? Ooh. And then lower all the way down. And maybe just take a moment here. You can also bring your arms down by your sides. And this sort of rounding that happens naturally, let it happen. Feel yourself breathe into your back. And then we'll push back into our child's pose one last time. So we didn't do a ton of curling up today, or maybe any, but we really still worked the core, hopefully, as well as your upper back. Connecting those arms, to these lovely big back muscles, stretching them out, getting them stronger. By the way, I'm in a child's pose right now with my knees closer together. That way I can kind of, with my thighs shoved up into my belly like this, it encourages more breath into my back. You might see my back moving with breath. And that is both really useful for expanding your own breath capacity, but also for stretching out these muscles because they're expanding with breath as you inhale. And then gently contracting. Take a moment. You can stay here as long as you like. You can also scoop your abs, roll yourself up. Take a moment to let yourself find your balance if you got a little dizzy there, because you are all done. Thank you for joining me today for some cans and back work along with breath. Let me know if you have any questions or requests. I'm always listening. Bye.